I want to start out with something that's a little local. The recent, the Kim Porter trial that finally got finalized. Her sentencing, the verdict for her sentencing happened a while ago, but now she actually
got sentenced.
Got sentenced, and I'm gonna say it in my opinion. I think it was a pretty just slap on the wrist for her. Mm-hmm. I think it was just 2 years with time served. And what's going to end up being, she'll end up serving around 16 months. She'll probably get around spring 2023. Mm-hmm. Now, I believe that she did not intentionally mean to kill Dante Wright or murder him. That I do believe that it was an accident. Was it a major fuck up? Yes. Mm-hmm. It cost a teenager his life. But the problem is, what I have is when cops have a major fuck up, they don't get punished the way we would if we have a major fuck up. And I think they have to have some consistency in their application when they're doing these trials.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you.
That's my opinion on it.
I don't know if you remember this, Doug, but Phil, you probably remember this. Remember when we were in grade school and we used to have fucking laser tag, right? Mm-hmm. And what ended up happening was a cop shot and killed a kid with a laser tag gun, thinking it was a real gun.
Yep.
Now, that dude didn't go to jail. Nobody knew what color that fucking kid was. Nope. Like, you just learned the lesson of if you run from a cop or if you have something that looks like a gun in a dark area and you know what I'm saying? Like, there's things that have personal responsibility of an individual, and the cop is going to enforce the law and protect himself. So if everyone's talking about the lady cop, right, and how she did all these wrong things, but why the fuck isn't anyone talking about Dante Wright running from the fucking cops anyway? Like,
because that's racist.
Well,
no,
maybe I'm being racist then, but I was taught if you run from the police, you're going to get shot at.
You're a dirty racist, you know.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are talking about that, but it's like Kim, she took a pledge to serve and protect her community when she became a police officer. Mm-hmm. And Jim, you're a big dude. I know you wouldn't feel threatened to the point where there's some 120-pounder teenager tries running from you that you're going to have to pull a gun out on him. I think that people are upset that she's using I guess she's not using the excuse because she didn't feel threatened, but it's this major fuck up that she had with pulling out a taser that's just massively bigger. You can tell just by the size of this thing that you would feel it almost instantly in just the way you're gripping it, on whether it's a taser or a gun.
Have you ever been in shock? Have you been in a moment that defies time? You don't. It's almost like time is completely stopped. And you don't take time and go, oh, this is, you know what I mean? There's things that you do when you're caught in a moment and you're in shock while it's going on that you may have made a mistake and aimed a weapon that you grabbed for, but it was the wrong one. And because you're in that moment of timelessness and unable to really comprehend that area of space, right? The plausibility of you being able to do that is high.
If all it takes for someone like her to get into shock is a teenager that's trying to run away, you probably shouldn't be a police officer. And she wasn't even alone. And she had 2-3 other guys with her, male police officers too. So I would assume she felt safe. I would assume that she wasn't she wasn't in that state of shock where it's, her flight or fight responses were really triggering off. If she was by herself, I think you can maybe make that shock argument.
Well, adrenaline.
But I have a hard time believing she was in shock in that situation, personally.
Well, I mean, I suppose it depends upon how you define shock. I mean, was she shell-shocked to the point to where she didn't know what was going on? No, but when adrenaline gets going. That's the ultimate. I think that's the thing, right? You've had adrenaline flow through you.
Yeah.
Are you paying attention to every little thing you're doing when you have that adrenaline surge?
I think I'm pretty in the zone. Yeah, I'm aware. Because I feel like when your adrenaline's pumping, your senses are really heightened. you're hyper aware, you're hyper focused on things that you're doing.
And
Yeah.
you're so
You know what I
hyper-focused.
mean? Like,
But your reaction centers take over. Your critical thinking, those logic gates, they get bypassed.
yeah.
And that's
It's fight or flight.
it's just that's
Well, what was the name of the black cop that shot and killed someone? They fucking threw the book at him.
Well, why don't we know his name?
I could look it up. I forget what it was. It happened a while ago now. I think he shot a white woman.
Oh, well, good. She was a dirty racist anyway. I mean,
Probably.
yeah, this story to me is very simple. She's in a position she should never have been in. Shouldn't be. I mean, this woman should not have ever been a police officer.
Agreed.
Most
police officers shouldn't.
Most
get
police officers should not have any. They shouldn't be anywhere near.
And there was
having
this
the
dude.
position
This
to do
also
this stuff to
happened in
people.
Minneapolis. I forgot about that. I'm trying to find the name of him real quick. A Minneapolis police officer who fatally shot an unarmed woman after she called 911 to report a possible rape happening behind her home was sentenced Thursday to nearly 5 years in prison.
See, this is
maximum-
freaking remarkable. This guy is on a response to a rape, ends up shooting the woman who called and gets 5 years. But if a guy who's actually violent and resisting you dies in your custody on 3 times a lethal dose of fentanyl at the time, you get 23 years.
Yeah, sorry.
What the hell?
Mohammed Noor was his name.
Oh, that's why. Just figured it out.
Yeah. Of why they threw the book at him and
No.
why they didn't throw it at Kim Porter.
No, they didn't throw the book at this guy.
5 years. I mean, compared to his sentencing, compared to Kim's, they did. He got the max for his 5 years.
Shivo, dealing with an actively resisting known criminal. Same thing with Potter. I mean, Sean Wright had warrants out for his
He
arrest,
wasn't
right?
Jesus. He had
mean,
done wrong before.
Yeah.
The dude wasn't a good guy.
But haven't we all done wrong before?
Yes, but at the same time, when
Yeah.
you're pulling over a person, right, and that person is obviously known to be an aggressive person, and they have consistently proven that through their actions, right? That's going to affect your decision-making process. And on top of it, he ran away from the cops. I don't care what color you are. If
he
you
didn't
run from
really
the cops,
run.
I expect he
tried to
resisted
get back
arrest,
in the car. He resisted.
and then he tried to drive away, right? That's called running from the cops. And if that happens, whatever fucking color you are, you deserve to get shot.
So we're going to have... There's a lot more people that are going to be dying this year then.
Cool, don't run from the cops.
See, don't you think that's a little extreme to anyone who just runs from the cops or tries to resist deserves to get killed?
Don't you think it's a little extreme having riots happen in Minneapolis because the police can't do anything?
I do.
So I think...
But I think those riots could be stopped if the police could calm down a little bit and use these other tools like tasers, pepper spray, just any physical force. I mean, they train these guys how to at least wrestle people to the ground, don't they?
Ish.
Yeah, like...
Kinda.